I wonder if we could explore perhaps the courageous conversations, and particularly mastering skills of feedback.
Yeah.
You know, giving these messages or giving this news that people sometimes don't want to hear. Are there processes or models that you use within something like that? So tell us a bit about the structure or the process that you go through in the work that you do there.
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. I think that what we would typically say is, look, there is the skill of giving the feedback itself, which is one part of the conversation. And, you know, we've got various models, approaches. A lot of feedback models tend to come down to the same thing, is that make feedback evidence-based. You know, it factually happened or it didn't happen. This was said or it wasn't said, not your personal interpretation or generalization. So, for example, if you wanted to give feedback to someone, you're practicing on the fact that you find them quite aggressive in meetings, it doesn't really help to label people with things like, I find you really aggressive. It's describing what they said and did is much safer ground. So we'll work on a model which helps them to make that really clear. But then there's all the other things that you bring into a conversation you're having with people. What's the story you're bringing in into the room when you're having a conversation with someone who perhaps has triggered you a number of times, and you've probably triggered them. We're all going around triggering each other, actually, quite often. And, you know, tell yourself a different story. How are you going to manage your own emotional responses? How are you going to demonstrate this is not an attack? This is because I want us to work more effectively. I want the best for you. What's your outcome you want? Are you going to listen more than you speak? All those factors come into having those conversations.
I'm going to try to listen more than I speak, but it's one thing that I personally find quite difficult.